What's up guys, it's Daz here, but you don't really care as we have filled out the map of the Faron region because we are going to get all of the Koroks and all of the treasures in the entire region. We're going for 100% no matter how long it takes us. Now as per usual, we always go from the southernmost point up to the northernmost point and then go scanning from west to east. So for treasures, we're going to go down to the bottom left down by the Lavera beach. We're going to get these 5 treasures here and then move on to the east. As like previous chests, this chest is simply off a little bit underwater by the shore. What fitting weather. Knight's shield. Okay. Oh, of course my shield's full. Right, these next few treasures are actually a nice little line for us, so let's go through this. Okay, so there's supposedly a third one along this sort of, between this island and this little rock here, but I can't find it, so I'm going to call it a miss. Excuse me. So next up, we're going to go over to the Puffer Beach. Oh, so it turns out this isn't actually a Korok, this is actually a treasure. I marked it wrong on my map, but hey, oh well. This treasure is just underwater off of the coast. Next up, we're going to this little body of water at the Puffer Beach. The 2 treasures are just simply in the water. Next up, we're going to go to these pins for the last couple of treasures on this little line. The treasure, again, is in the water, though just floating on the surface this time. Next up, we're going to this little body of water here. I wonder if it's going to be inside it this time. So I didn't know there was a functional guardian around here. Whoops. Treasures is in this water though. Let's see if we can actually get this. Okay, now that we've done that line, we've gotten rid of a few pins, we now got a little bit more of an update on some of the treasures. Again, it still doesn't have all of them in the Faron region, but at least we've got a starting point. We're now going back to the Osera Plains along the eastern edge of this mound here. Right, so this mountain basically has a whole bunch of bombable rocks in it with a whole bunch of different collectibles. Oh, a Gerudo scimitar. Okay, I guess that counts as a treasure. Right, next we're gonna go over to the Papeto Grove. The treasure around here is a grove. Grove? No. I forgot what these are called. Campments. Next up, we're going to go over to the Mounted Archery Camp's bridge. The bridge towards it. And quite predictably, the chest is just under the water. Under the bridge. Ooh, 300 rupees. Nice. Right, next up, we're going to go down south along this river. East of the Mounted Archery Camp. By the trees. Huh. Oh, hello. Oh, wait. I am in disguise. So is it gonna care? Yes. Yes, it is. Damn it. Okay. Also, nice ice spear you got around there. Right, anyway, the treasure is at the end of this valley. Behind a bombable rock. Oh. Please be safe. Night halberd, that is not worth it, but okay. Thanks for throwing your ribs at me, buddy. Right, next up, well, there's actually not a lot of treasures along this whole batch of land here. So next we're going to go right by the stables, a little bit northeast. Now again, the treasure is supposedly like right here. Maybe it appears after a side quest, which we've already done, so no. I don't know, it's not here, but apparently here. Again, I never saw the answer to last time we had this problem, so if you did give me an answer and I can get it later, then I'm sorry I didn't get it now. I'm kind of batch recording these videos in preparation for how long they take to make. So, yeah, I guess that's a busted treasure chest for now. Shame. Next up then, we'll go to the southern point of this unnamed body of water, right by the Guccini Plain. The treasure's just simply under the water. Next up, we're going a little bit east in the Guccini Plains this time. Actually, in them. Man, towers seem so much rarer nowadays. They were a lot more common in the Great Plateau. I kind of miss them. They're very easy to find treasures, you know? Right, next up, we're going to do these 3 treasures that are by the Lake of the Horse God Lake. That was too many lakes. And then we'll go back up to the Guccini Plain treasure. Now, I think this might be a first, but now the treasure is being protected by a slate. Huh. Alright, that's not how you do that. I cannot open this thing for my life. There we go. Oh, I was just about to have a whole, like, goodbye slate, but oh well. Right, next up, we are going to these pins, because we ran out of treasure marks last time we did the map adding. This looks like some kind of ritual with how there's another slate right nearby, but oh well. Anyway, the next 2 treasures up along this mountain are beneath these slates. And the final one is also under a slate, but a little off the mountain. I'm wondering why all this theming. This one's under 2. Is it supposed to be like some sort of tomb or something? I don't know. Anyway, double axe. Actually, that's pretty good. Right. And now time to go back to the Guccini Plain. And this guy is again under a slate in this swamp. Is it just like maybe it was just a single developer that was like, I'll make these next treasure ones. I'll make them all slates and one a tower. I don't know. Anyway, the next one is again on the pin we can see on our minimap, just a little bit east of this actual marsh. I really got him good this time. I gave him 2 towers instead of 1. There was only 1. Gosh, I'm a genius developer, me. I'll give him a boomerang, even though that's what they've been using to get rid of all the other treasure chests. Anyway, now that we've done all that, there is one final piece of lineage to do with this treasure. Way down here. I almost forgot about it. In the southern eastern portion, there's a whole clump of land here, and there's 4 treasures there, so let's go get them. These treasures are all hidden underwater in some fashion. Right, here's another update of the map. Here's what it looks like. We are now going to go to the center of the Faron... No, that's just Faron grassland. We're just north of the Parashi Plains by that encampment. In this clump of trees. Here we are. It was just an enemy with a fisherman's shield. Okay. Next up, we're going to go north of the Kora Lake around this tower. Or the tower. Right, there's a clump of treasures in this little enemy encampment trench thing that's going on here. First things first is you, buddy, are protecting this guy. I couldn't find one more north, so I think my markers might be wrong on the map. But then again, actually, that was very solidly on the second one, so I'll keep looking around to see if I can find that first one that's more northern. Nope, doesn't seem to be. I just can't find that northernmost one. Oh well, that's fine. So the second one is in this body of water here, further up the westernmost trench. Actually, are these 2 right next to each other? Because if that's the case, then what is this? Oh, it's a boulder. Okay, never mind. Yeah, I've really not a clue where that 3rd treasure is then. There's one on the right, up in the waters. There's one in the middle from the tree. I guess there would be one up the left, but I couldn't find it. Oh well, it doesn't matter too much. It was just another treasure. Next one, at least, is to the east of the treasure tower right here. And the final one in this clump is directly south of it. Right, now that Trump clump of treasure is done, we are next going to go further along in the land. There's actually not a lot of treasures in this whole region, apparently. I should probably check that later. Yeah, no, there really isn't a lot. So next up, we're going to go down to this little body of water here, just northwest of the Guccini Plain. One treasure is on the surface, the other underwater. Right, now that those 2 are done, we're going to go way up north to a little bit west of the Zonai ruins at the end of this lake, and then we'll make our way down it. The treasure can be found way hidden off in like a little crevice at the end of the river. And with that, we're now going to go to the bridge. The treasure here can just be found underneath the bridge. What a surprise. Next up, we're going further down the river. This guy's just on the surface in the center of the river. This guy's just underwater a little further along. Next guy's just on the surface. Next guy's under the water just by the shore. And the final guy is right near the bottom, again underwater by the coast. Also, there's a raft here now. With those all done, we're going to go round to this curve just southeast of the Nozai ruins. And the treasure here is hidden in a little cave, guarded by I think just one Lizalfos. Right now we're going to this body of water just northeast of the curve. Right in the center is the treasure chest. If I can get it out. And now here's the final update of the map with all of the treasures pretty much in place. I may have missed a couple in my journeys, but generally this is most of what you will find now on this upper bit of the Faron region. Also, you'll notice there's a lovely little dip in nothing here because this is the Great Plateau and this is West Necluda. We are pretty much kind of almost done. So, for the first treasure on this scanning line, we're going to go northwest of Hylia Island. Right, this treasure can just be found underwater near the Cloved Islands, as I'm calling them cloves. Next up, I think I'll take on all the other treasure chests on Hylia Island and then go for the clump down below it and then the clump up above it. And then the other one. Right, this treasure is very simply just on the southernmost island blob. Next treasure is just underground on the northernmost island. They're basically just slightly, not even really, they're not hidden at all really, they're just slightly buried on each of the little islands. Most of them. The top left one actually has a Octorok instead, pretending to be a treasure chest. So to compensate for one of the treasure chests not being on an island, there's one underwater instead. And again, here is another one underneath the water. This time on the southeasternmost island, I guess. It's a clump of them, really. Phrenic Bow. Oh, and I actually picked it up. Ugh. Right, now that we're done with Hylia Island, we're going south. Here they all are. A little off my marker, but pretty much in the same place. Right, now that those three are over, we're going to deal with the clump at the top. Right, here we are, again a little bit off on the marker, but this time all three are underwater. Hello, shooting star. So for a moment I thought this was the famous unobtainable treasure chest in this game. It turns out I'm just having bad luck. I'm literally right on top of it with Cryonis and cannot grab it with Magnesis to save my life. Like, look at this. I could not be really any closer if I tried. It's just way too underwater for me to reach. There's another unobtainable chest, but I'm pretty sure it's not here. No, it's not in Lake Hylia. Well, I'll give it one more Cryonis go. Otherwise, I'm done. I've done this for like 8 minutes now. It's enough looking. This one treasure chest. Oh, that's not good. Nope, it's just not happening. I'm right on top of it. That I could not be closer if I tried. That's not happening. Okay, so secretly I actually tried like 3 other times. Still, no, nothing. Like, nope, none of it's happening. All right, well that's a stupid treasure chest at the end of all that. But oh well. I am still going to delete it off my map anyway. I'm going to say it's done. God damn it. Right, next we're going to go just along here to get these last 2 here. Right, here we go. Actually grabbable from underneath the water. It's right by the little pier just west of the north entrance to the bridge. Thank you. And the other one's just on the other side of the pier. Alright. Right, next we're going to take on the Bridge of Hylia. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 treasures to get along this bridge. We're going to go from the southernmost point up to the northernmost point. Let's do this. The first treasure we're going for is just along the 5th nub. It is actually inside the pillar that would be holding it up if it wasn't broken down. Right, this entire place is basically an enemy encampment, though actually it's not too bad. It's just a single arena. I think we should be able to do this pretty easily. Especially if I had a Bowser's Fury even. But there are a handful of treasure chests to get on the way. 7 to be in fact. Or whatever. 7 as a matter of fact. I can't remember how I was trying to phrase that, but alright. If I don't need a spear anymore, then you can have that one. Thank you. Bye-bye. Right, now the other 6 treasures can actually be found underneath the pillar, or the main central bit in the center. Well, that was most of the treasures in there. The Edge of Duality was the most important part of the treasure anyway. All the rest were like 5 arrows or something like that. Here's another treasure that I missed. They're not actually all underwater. Some of them are up on the pillars too, but they're not very important. Again, they're just 5 arrows. Right, the next treasure is inside this broken pillar here. It is 2 nodules above from the centerpiece. And that's us done with the bridge. So I think the next treasure we're going to go get is this guy right in the center. Okay, what is it with treasures and Lake Hylia and me not being able to grab them? Am I not supposed to be using Cryonis? What are my alternatives? Like I'll drop a bomb on it? And then like it unleashes a chain or something? No, that just kills me. That's all that did. Yeah, what? Yeah, I'm literally on top of it and it's just not showing up. It's not going yellow. Okay. Then that's just, again, a waste of my time. I was a little off on my marker anyway, but whatever, man. This lake's messing with me. Right, next up then, we're going to go down to these clumps down here and then go up and round and whatever. Here's the clump. We are actually pretty much right on it with the marker. Right, and now that that is done, we're going to go to this little, no, let's go for this little map, treasure chest right here. Lovely, just under the water. Nice and easy to get. So the next one we're going to get is just a little bit southeast of there. Right, and this guy is just again, once again, under the water. There's not really much more I can say about it other than that they're there. It's pretty easy to find and it was pretty on the marker. It's right here. Right, next up we're going to go to the clump down here. Here's the clump, pretty accurately from the marker too. Alright, now you can see it on our minimap. We're going to go a tiny bit east to, well, not quite that Octorok, but you know what I'm going for. Here it is. Oh, nice voice crack. Royal Claymore. Okay. And it is pretty much where the marker is. Right, now that we're done with most of the lake, I'm going to do these little glass clumps later. We're going to now go over to this guy. Right by the Dale Lake, a little to the right of it. Or to the east, whatever you prefer. The treasure over here might actually be one we already got. I kind of feel like I remember this video, this area when I first did the West Necluda. Oh, how did I know you were going to be right in my way, buddy? Alright, okay. I see how this is going. There we go. Just use some mice instead. All that for a knight's halberd, too. Not exactly worth it, huh? Right, now that that's done, we're going to go way down to this little bit here. Oh, it's a tiny little body of water just west of the Damal Forest. Here's that body of water. And a whole bunch of fairies around too. Interesting. Either way, the treasure chest is simply underwater. Next treasure we're going to go for is this clump of Damal Forest. Right, the first treasure we're going to grab is the northernmost one of the clump. It's a little away from the others, but it's how I'm doing it. Okay, great. I messed that twice. It's part of an enemy encampment, but a simple Bowser's Fury will get rid of those. Lovely. Right, to the other 3. And this one's also part of an enemy encampment, though it does have a white bokoblin for me. Might not for you, but it does for me. Did I mention that it is for me? Bye-bye! Okay, next one. The next one can be found nearby along this long watery path. Thank you. Looks like the others have forgotten about me now. The one we're going to is one I actually kind of missed and probably should have gotten second. Little thing here. Oh, float. There we go. No. Float. There we go. Lovely. Oh, thank you. Right, now that all of these are done, we're going to go up to the top of the spring of King Courage, even not Kingdom. Ugh. Here it is. If you watched the shrine getting video, then you would have seen this already. We had to ignore it. And it's being guarded by a black moblin. But that's fine. We can get out of here anyway. Right, next up we're going to go just along the Dracozu River, I guess is what it will be called, huh? And the treasure is just in the water. Pretty simple. Right, now we're just going to get 2 more treasures, and then we're going for the final jump, which are pretty much all in the same place, so let's go. Right, here we are. There's not too much to say, it's just treasure in the ocean, or mini little lake, but oh well. Here's Opal, and the other one is Night Shield. Alright. Now that those 2 are done, we're going to go back to Lake Hylia to take on these 4 treasures in this clump of islands by the waterfall here. Right, here we are at the clump. Okay, so my map says there's 4, but I'm only finding 2, so either I got them in last time I was here, or they're just not there. I've done a good enough scan. I'm not going to put in too much extra time to find 2 extra treasure chests, especially since they're most likely only going to be arrows and some opal. They're not exactly going to be massive weapons that are going to change the game or anything. So instead, next up, we're going to go to the westernmost part of the Daya Lake. So this treasure tried to be a little bit more unique compared to pretty much every other one in the video. This one's actually guarded by a couple of boulders rather than just being under the water. I like it. Although maybe I wouldn't have liked it as much if it wasn't so generic stuff. So really, the bad is what defines the good, Anyway, the other treasure is on this mainland here. Oh, it was right here anyway. It was underneath the ground. How did I miss that? Right, next up we're going to go to this land here and then back up again. And this treasure is, again, slightly original and, like, you know, kind of different. It's in the well under the ground a little bit. Kind of well hidden. Especially with the soilness that was around it. But, of course, it's opal, so whatever. Right. Next one we're going to go for is back in the Daya Lake. We're going way up high, just by this little ruinsy bit here. And once again, the treasure's slightly different. It's just hidden under a slate. It's kind of refreshing to not be underwater all the time. But, of course, it's opal. Next one we're going to is just a little bit south of that. You can see it on the minimap. And wow, way to make one thing original and then to really make it unoriginal again by using the same thing. It's in the well. Though it is kind of covered by water and leaves, so I guess it's slightly different. I don't know. Seems like an allegory for many franchises. It was original, and then you did it again and again and again. Anyway, the next one we're going to is a little bit east of here. You can see it on the minimap as well. This guy's also hidden underneath a slate. Alrighty, so it seems like there's 2 types of treasures in this region, apparently. And now the final treasure in all of the Faron region lies right in the center of the Daya Lake, inside this massive-ish ruins house. I was gonna say, like, it's the biggest house ruins here, so, you know, I guess it's kind of important. And, okay, no, there's 3 types of treasures then. There's 3 types, different from what we've seen throughout the rest of Faron region, and they're all used twice. The well, the slate, and the boulders. Alright, let's try this again, shall we? Good. Oh, can I not open it? Oh, no, I can open it. Okay, never mind. The lack of sound made me think I couldn't open it because that boulder was standing on top of it, but it's not. Anyway, that is every single treasure in the entire Faron region completed. How many people do you know completed all of Faron region with treasure? Apart from, you know, like, the treasure chest here I couldn't open and the one over here that was doing the same thing. But other than that, we're all done here. So next time, we're going to go to a new area and see something. I don't know. I guess more Koroks treasures, side quests and shrines. But that's a thing for probably tomorrow. For now, mine has been Daz. You didn't really care, and I'll see you in a bit.